In today's video, visualization strategies to deal with stress as an instructional coach and to share with your teachers. Hello, coaches! Welcome back to another 5-Minute Friday from Eduro Learning. My name is Kim, and I have been an instructional coach in schools for about 20 years. As the CEO and founder of Eduro Learning, I am privileged to work with educators around the world in the Coach Microcredential, designed for instructional coaches, and within our private mentoring packages. Today, I'm talking about something that has been coming up kind of a lot in these conversations, and it's really not a surprise. COVID-19 and remote learning is really stressful, and both the coach and my private mentoring clients are talking to me a lot about how to manage all of this stress. So today I thought I would share some of the strategies that I'm sharing with them with you. I'm, of course, not a doctor. I am just an individual human being, and these are some strategies that I've developed for myself over the years and found them productive for me. They may or may not work for you or your teachers, but I'm sharing them here just in case something resonates with you. I've got 4 strategies that I would say I use on a daily basis. They are all 4 visualization strategies. Although I would not call myself a visual learner, I find these really, really helpful. And I've learned them at different stressful points in my life. And now as a small business owner where every day is pretty much a roller coaster, I use them all the time. So if you can bring these into your repertoire and they work for you, I hope that you might find these helpful and useful in both your coaching practice and to share with your teachers and maybe even in your personal life. The first strategy, and this is probably the one that I use the most, and I can very clearly remember before I knew how to do this and after I knew how to do this, and it is huge. And it's nothing crazy, but my strategy is to lock the thing that's stressing you out in a box in your mind. And the key with all of these visualization strategies is you have to see it in your brain. So I will imagine the thing that's making me so stressed out that I, am floating in a cloud of anxiety, and I will lock it in a box inside my brain. For me, this works for things that I have no control over, at least for the time being. This especially works when there's a deadline for something, like I know I can't do anything about X until May 15th. So I will lock it in a box in my brain until that day. And what happens for me when I do that is I don't ruminate about it every single day, but my body knows, my brain knows, I know it's coming up on May 15th. And by the time May 15th rolls around, I actually have some strategies to deal with whatever this thing is. So what I do is I visualize whatever the thing is that's stressing me out. I visualize a box. I put the thing inside the box, and then I close the lid. I usually use this in conjunction with some kind of reminder system, usually on my phone, where I will set the day to deal with the thing so that I know that if I put it in the box and I genuinely actually forget about it, there will be a reminder so that I don't actually forget about something important. One thing that I learned early on is that this box likes to open back up again very often in the middle of the night when you're sleeping. And I can even see in my head right now, like the light shining from inside the box as the lid comes up. And as long as I know that I have that reminder set, I just visualize myself closing that box and I'm going to deal with it on such and such day. If this is something you genuinely have no control over ever, and it's something that is like unrelated to you, but for some reason it's stressing you out, you might want to put it in a box and not have a deadline. But I have never had that particular situation, so I can't speak to that. My second strategy is to view things as a puzzle. As a small business owner, it has been amazing for me to see that anything that happens with my business, I just look at it like a puzzle to solve. It's not a reflection of me personally. It's not a judgment about how things are going or what the future may hold. It's just an opportunity to try to solve this puzzle. If you can bring that idea of looking at the problems that are facing you as a puzzle, and you can visualize the pieces and move them around on the mental board in your mind, it takes a little bit of distance away from you, the individual person, and the challenge that you're facing, and allows you to look at it a little bit more strategically and take away the emotion and the feelings and the stress about the thing, because it's just a puzzle you need to figure out. You have many pieces and maybe not all of them, and that's okay, because when you find a missing piece, that's what you're going to tackle next and find out how to find the solution for that problem. I like to use this when I have too many projects going on and too many problems kind of coming at me all at once. And then I will take all those different problems and mentally lay them out like a puzzle and figure out how to move different pieces, even to prioritize things, who I can ask, a puzzle in my brain of the problems coming at me. My third strategy is definitely one that I use in my personal life and have not used as much in my professional life, but now that I've used it so much for my personal life, I can see how it would apply. One of the things that I love to do is compete in a sport called powerlifting. And to do that, when we have a competition day, we have to perform the squat, the bench, and the deadlift in front of judges, and usually a crowd of people. And the weights are really heavy because it's supposed to be the most you can lift for 3 attempts, with the last one being the heaviest you've ever lifted for each lift. And that's super stressful. And so before a competition, I will visualize the entire day, from waking up in my bed to getting drug tested, to eating every meal, to warming up, to actually performing the lifts, to even the feeling of after I'm done for the day. So basically, by the time I get to the day, that day has already happened. A couple of keys I've learned about this visualization strategy is it works really well for me to do it in bed at night before I'm like falling asleep. And then also if I wake up in the middle of the night to fall back asleep again, because this may be weird, I'm not sure, but I will tend to dream then about that day and see myself going through it both in my visualizations and in my dreams. The other thing I've learned is I restart my visualization anytime I lose focus. So it might be that I get, let's say all the way up to my 3rd squat attempt, and I've visualized the whole morning all the way up there, and then for whatever reason after that I kind of lose it. So I'll go back to that whole time again, and then I'll move into bench. And then if I lose it, I'll go back to the beginning again. And so I just kind of reset and repeat as needed. I tend to, in this situation, if I don't make a lift that I expect to make, I'll also reset as needed. So I'll just go over a successful day again and again in my mind. What's good about using this for days that you know are coming, like something that's coming in advance, is you can start visualization super early. You can start it weeks in advance. You can be visualizing having a successful day every night for 3 weeks. And so by the time you get to that day, you have thought through and visualized every single aspect of what you're going to do on that day to make it successful. My 4th strategy is to just let it go. And these are for things that you know you cannot deal with. It is not in your control. You will never have control over it. It's something that you can only control your reaction to. And I like to visualize this as the phrase, like water off a duck's back. Something is bothering me. Someone gave me a negative comment. Someone said something that I didn't like or that hurt my feelings. I will imagine it like a drop of water off a duck's back. And the newer one that I've been using, I use a Mac, and sometimes I'll remove something from my dock. And when you take it off the dock, it does this little poof sound. And so I will visualize this thing, this comment, this feedback, this stressful experience as like me just pulling it out of my brain, poof, and letting it go. And this is something that takes a lot of practice because these things tend to come back again and again. So just visualizing yourself letting that thing go, kind of pulling it out of your brain and letting it float off into the air can be something that takes a lot of time. Any one of these things also work really well if you meditate and you kind of sit calmly. As you're starting to clear your brain, these can be things that you let come out of your brain and clear them away before you sit for your meditation. All right, those were 4 visualization strategies to deal with stress as an instructional coach and that you can share with your teachers. They were to lock it in a box, to see things as a puzzle, to visualize your whole day, or to let it go. Hopefully one or all of those is useful for you or the people that you work with. If so, please let us know. Reach out to me at Ms. Cafino or to us at Eduro Learning. We'd love to hear from you. If you have questions about coaching, please let us know. Leave a comment in the description box below. Join our Facebook group. Check out COACHBETTER.tv for all of our podcast episodes. And of course, if you are a relentless learner just like me, check out our website at edurolearning.com to see all of the great professional learning opportunities we have available for educators around the world right now. Everything is online, so there's no need to travel. We've been teaching online for 15 years, and we know how to create a great community environment in online spaces. Check out edurololearning.com to see all of the great things you can learn with us this academic year.